25% chance for Top Blokes to win, 0% chance for a turtle to do a flip. But either way, this next set, while the desk again heavy on vitality, Turtle does make a good point in that Top Blokes did not look that bad in their last set against vitality.
Not at all. Top Blokes looks phenomenal. Like, I don't know why it's still 75-25. I appreciate there is some bias because Vitality ultimately won that first series out. But Top Blokes, they managed to take 2, and they looked threatening in every single game. I have full faith that this will still be a 22-game thriller.
Well, I mean, Vitality already looking better straight away in the start of this second series. What a touch that is from K-Dop.
That's been my big question mark going into the match, or going into the best of sets, is okay, can K-Dop play with consistency, and can he be that linchpin in the center of the rotation? Because when he's not, that's when Vitality flounder. But so far, K-Dop is playing like K-Dop, and so that's why Vitality won the first set, and that's why they scored 9 seconds in again.
I mean, what I love about K-Dop is that even in that last game, he even stole an extra shot by missing the open goal, then following it home and smashing it in. That is how much this man is hungry for statistics, for the fame. Okay, K-Dop is looking very comfortable right now. It's these confident touches that are just surprising Top Blokes over and over again. And even though they've got a little bit of power now, they're not looking too bad to score.
Top Blokes definitely need to put more of an emphasis on making Vitality look uncomfortable, because you're completely right. They look like they know they're going to win this series, take the set 2-0, move on, have a nice short day. Top Blokes need to make every touch they get awkward. Do those horrible little nuisance touches at every opportunity that they get. But with Alpha throwing passes and K-Dot returning it to Fairy Peak, it's going to be impossible for Top Blokes to try and wrangle anything out of their half.
I mean, there's your composure, Stumpy. After getting a flip reset pass like that from Alpha, if I'm on that pitch, I'm just thinking, spam it at the net, hope I don't mess it up. But still, they know the extra pass is there. It didn't work out, but it's beautiful from Vitality.
You know, Fairy Peak isn't playing no games, man. He will stay down in the blue half. He will be a nuisance. He will go for the bumps, demos. He'll go for every boost steal. And then K-Dop and Alpha just create so much pressure. And there's Fairy Peak. He finds an open net. Top Blokes completely blown out on the rotation, and Vitality are crushing them right now.
Fairy Peak being the highest scorer in that last series, racking up a total of 8 goals. And that is just being compounded again now. His 9th goal in this set. And Vitality already 2-0 up with a minute and a half gone. It's a cracking start for the Frenchman.
Yeah, I mean, that goal as well, it just came from pure pressure in the end. Wasn't anything too clever. But Top Blokes right now believe that Vitality can do clever things. That's making them second-guess themselves. I mean, look at what Alpha is capable of. Cassio comes in from the side, but Vitality just throwing weapons forward now.
Oh, even Fairy Peak closing out that corner, not allowing the ball to just get cleared out. Top Blokes will eventually find a clear. But just emphasis on what you guys have been saying. Vitality really turning the screws on the Top Blokes defense. And Top Blokes finally finding some space. In fact, Cassio finds the net. And Top Blokes don't stay out of the game long. They pick up their first.
That pinch is utterly perfect between Flame and Alpha. Look at that, just off the ceiling, Cassio turns and goes, don't mind if you do. I guess I'll hit that top corner and outspeed Fairy Peak to the shot as well. Great return from Top Blokes.
Yeah, great return from Flame in particular as well. He was, without doubt, at fault for Vitality's second goal. To step back up, go for the scoopy pass off the wall that ended up forcing the pinch that Cassio scored from is tremendous from him.
Top Blokes gonna look for another long clear. Archie buying himself as much time in that low boost scenario, and all of Top Blokes move forward with him. And it's another long clear that sends them all turn and tail again. That's a nice clear from Archie. Good continuation for Top Blokes, but can they keep the pressure up? Flame, probably not the launch he wanted on that play. Despite being in the corner, I just don't really see an opening. That's a perfect touch from Fairy Peak.
Yeah, Top Blokes are trying to speed this game up as much as they can. They're going for these bumps and quick-fire passes, but Vitality, every time the ball's coming anywhere near them, they're taking a touch and just slowing it down. Look at Fairy Peak there. He doesn't care if he gets dunked. He knows that by the time he does get dunked, Alpha will be behind him, and then when he gets dribbling, they just put Top Blokes yet again under so much pressure.
Top Blokes just seem to commit on these, I'm just going to go for the dunk, or I'm going to, if I mistouch that, if I get the first touch and I miss it, then I'm going to use all my boost to try to get back to the dunk. And they don't get back to those challenges often enough, and then they find themselves in low boost situations where I don't think they need to be. They know Vitality are meeting them at the punch. They have to adjust to that. Otherwise, Vitality are going to keep doing this to them.
I mean, my only worry with Vitality right now is that they're going for these passes a little bit too often. Flame has just shown what I was about to say. Top Blokes are going to start reading this. One interception and Top Blokes have a chance. It didn't happen, but now is the time where Vitality need to mix things up and go back to those solo plays, in my opinion.
I mean, Top Blokes earlier on, their counter-attack play versus Guild was what won them that series. They outperformed so often where they could just hold out on the back line and have no issues in holding their opponent back. That as soon as they had a chance for counter, they did it. They were surgical, they were precise, and it managed to pay off. Vitality are just they're not offering them those options whatsoever. And instead, every single shot and goal the Top Blokes earn has to be earned.
Look at Cassio. Froze K-Dop. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to push that ball forward. So what does he do? Just waits. He knows he's got someone on the wing close by who can adjust, and Cassio, pulling off on that fake, created just enough of an angle to get that pass to Flame, who put a rocket on net to prevent the save.
It's something we haven't seen anywhere near enough from Cassio in this entire series. We've hyped him up as the assister for Top Blokes. He only got 2 assists in the entire first series. Not quite good enough. So seeing him come out the blocks right now in a high-pressure situation, getting that pass to Flame, who also needs some goals for himself for his confidence, could be massive for them.
Top Blokes letting that one come down a little bit since the game tied up. Rotations relaxed a little bit for Top Blokes, but they're also still struggling to hang on to the ball. And Archie try to work some magic in the corner. Flame will be next up. Flame. No chance there in the corner. Archie wants to push it. Flame can't get the bump. Vitality. They want to push at the end of regulation. It's going to be the catch from Alpha. He'll let it drop.
I mean, last overtime, it was won by Top Blokes in Game 3, so they've got history.
I was so hoping that Alpha would secure that touch, catch it, and just flick it perfectly. We've seen how well those first touches can go over in NA with Justin in his top play in the pre-show.
Oh, stunning.
Hoping that could happen again. But unfortunately not. Said Archie's trying to go for a long shot. And a couple of times I've seen Top Blokes go for a direct shot on net when the backboard has been completely clear. Top Blokes need to be using a little bit more ingenuity and catching Vitality off guard. Because right now they seem to know what's planned.
Oh no, he missed it. Oh, that hurts.
They've caught themselves off guard. Look at this touch here. Cassio, whoops. just dunking poor old Archie. He doesn't know where to go. He did not expect that one at all. And K-Dop just waits. He just waits and he scores.
I can hear Turtle deflating in the whole way in the green room right now after that last misplay from Archie, especially after all that effort they went through to fight and get that tie game, Vitality jetting out to the 2-goal lead, and then to play really rock-solid defense for the rest of the game afterwards. For it to end like that, that hurts when you're just trying to fight to play another set.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you're going up and you have to be confident you're about to hit it, especially as the final man back, because 10 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody at least following up on the 1% chance that it does fall down and the final man at the back misses it. That's a completely unacceptable miss from the defender. Top Blokes needed to do a lot more there, even just to cover if that mistake does end up happening. But Vitality ultimately stretching the Top Blokes defense so thin that they weren't able to do that.
I mean, there were many positives there, though, for Top Blokes. The first half of that game, they weren't in it at all. It was their own errors and Vitality's pressure that were leading to goals against them, and it seemed that Vitality were going to steamroll them. However, they got back into that first game. The overtime, it was an individual error, maybe 2, if you see Cassio's back pass as an error as well, but they happen. The fact is they got back into a really tough game 1.
But that's what we've talked about with Vitality, right? And is that they're going to punish almost every mistake that you make. And, at the start of this whole set, we said the Top Blokes, they have to play mistake free. Look, you're not going to get many opportunities like that one from Flame, but you certainly take it.
I love that Flame has just merged everything that I've enjoyed about watching him. His defense into his offense transition in literally a single touch. The pinches to the ceiling, and then it's a shot straight in. Somehow, by the way, the top right corner, the picturesque shot. I don't know how he's done that, but in 15 seconds with Top Blokes having a lead, it's at least a freebie.
Maybe can change the fortunes for Top Blokes. It's usually been Vitality striking first, and Top Blokes constantly digging themselves out of a hole. Nice push here in front from Vitality. K-Dop going to try to play this close against Flame. And he is going to be rewarded with the ball. forces the 50 as well. Cassio loses another 50 to Alpha, and K-Dop's got the net. Flame jumps up, and he couldn't get bumped by Alpha. Otherwise, that would have went in.
I mean, yeah, again, it's great play from Flame, standing up firm. He was left all alone there by his teammates, but he can't do it again when the infield passes are that good, and Vitality do equalize in the end.
I mean, Flame was the last man back, sure, but Cassio, I think, maybe called that he had the block on it. Flame wasn't anticipating it to get past Cassio, and so jumped a little bit later because he then eventually saw that it came past. Cassio did also dodge the wrong way, and so the block, I think, should have come in. But that shot was perfection, right below the crossbar, unsavable in most situations.
A couple of miscues now from Cassio. First putting Archie in a tough spot at the end of the last game, and now that one, and again, turns into him conceding a goal. K-Dop, what a touch, and taken away by Cassio. Vitality, I mean, they're looking in championship form. Top Blokes have had to throw the whole book at them to try to break through them. And Fairy Peak wins another 50. Cassio keeps it close. Alpha tried to punish, but Archie keeps it clean. K-Dop rolling right back around. Fairy Peak off the back wall. There's nothing here for Vitality yet. The back wall has been grabbed by Top Blokes.
And there's no chances to score, but they are just keeping Top Blokes penned in, and eventually it will lead to a chance. K-Dop tried to read what Archie was doing there, but he couldn't quite do it. And Top Blokes, for all their defending, are surely going to be able to get them away here. No, again, it's a pass infield towards K-Dop, who tries to bounce it in, and Archie sends it wide.
All these passes from Vitality are so clever. Like, they're coming in from very awkward angles, and where maybe the shot is actually the most opportune option, but to have that in their locker, and the chances are just innumerable. Top Blokes, though, saving out every single one.
Flame on the backboard again. K-Dop got the 50! You can't stop K-Dop! 2-1 for Vitality.
It's his second in the game. Here he goes. Simple as you like, just following up what Flame was offering. One mistake too many there from the Top Blokes. Archie didn't read the bounce. And again, it's just pure pressure from Vitality. It's not so much a moment of genius as just a continuation of all the attempts that they've taken. Finally, they make one stick. It could be again from the kickoff, but Archie will get back in time.
It took a lot, though, to break through that Top Blokes defense. In the end, it does come down to a fantastic positioning from K-Dop to get the dunk on the ball again. But Top Blokes defensively still look great, still look threatening, as if not much is going to get past them, save for a wonder goal. They just don't yet have that offense in this game.
Cassio able to get that clear, though, and maybe they can find that tie right here. Fairy Peak harassed on the back wall. Archie gonna get a look, but again, Alpha this time gets in the way of another Top Blokes possession. Fairy Peak behind this, lets the ball drop, and Flame, oh my goodness. You don't look that silly usually, Flame, but Fairy Peak certainly made you look so.
Oh, Fairy Peak can certainly do that, and Vitality can certainly score from here. Fairy Peak, he's gone for the flip reset off the backboard. Doesn't even use the flip reset, just tries to place it into the goal. Top Blokes are surviving, but that's as good as we can say. Archie's clearance is into the corner. Earlier on, they were just going to Top Blokes players, but now Vitality just picking up every second ball.
Vitality were playing so close to that net that it was the last fifth of the pitch that every single player was existing in. Vitality pushing so hard onto these plays and taking out the defenders as well. You got to feel for Top Blokes, because that's another one for Fairy Peak.
The demo opens it up, and then Fairy Peak closes it. It's a perfect catch from Alpha, a perfect flip to Fairy Peak, and perfect placement. It didn't even need to be. There was nobody to cover the net. Archie was making up for lost time, and Top Blokes are getting lapped on the blue half of the pitch.
I was going to say, it does seem like it's a victory lap right now for Vitality, the way they're playing. Top Blokes not in this one at all. Vitality as well. It must be said, all throughout spring, we never saw this version of them. They were awkward, they were janky, they'd lost their identity somewhat, and most importantly of all, as Cassio almost puts this on away, but Fairy Peak saves even that, they weren't winning. Vitality, maybe they've been inspired over in NA by G2's rise back to prominence in these championships, because this is a clean slate, and they are just more than making the most of it.
That was a hard clear. Archie could receive. Maybe Cassio can get it started. I don't know if that touch will do it. He just wants to keep it away from Vitality. He does find Archie. He's got boost. The shot's wide. There's the follow-up.
Oh
and it's
my
saved
God.
off the crossbar. There's no one from Top Blokes available. Archie gets kicked back into the ball. Flame jumped forever ago to get to this one. And now Archie, another play. Caught underneath. Vitality will bend, but they will not break on defense. Cassio kicks this one up. Archie's up. Flame has the shot. And no, it's off the post. No chance for Top Blokes. Time chipping its way down to 0. Archie again off the ramp. Does he have anything for top blokes? Flame off the backboard. Shot from Cassio. Too light. Vitality. Easy clear. And it certainly is a victory lap for Vitality in this game. They're going to take it.
That was almost the exact same that happened in the previous series, with the final 30 seconds, 45 seconds being utter domination from Top Blokes, having chances to shoot and to score and to bring the scoreline even just slightly more even. But Vitality again with a runaway goal. The shots are nowhere near good enough for Top Blokes, and Vitality with yet another game win.
Tactical timeout, surely. Look at Vitality. I mean, the game's over, but they're pre-jumping, they're prancing through the air. They are having so much fun right now, and even Archie's goal there is not, in my opinion, going to be enough of a D-tilter after Top Blokes not scoring from the numerous situations they have had to do so. They had to have scored more than 2 goals in this game. So for me, Jilby, they've got to take a minute here just to relax and calm down.
Yeah, when you're trying everything and nothing is working, the only thing you have left to check yourself is your mentality. And we always talk about how mentality is 90% of this game, even more. And you have to make sure that your head is clear, that you don't tunnel vision, and that you can find a way to beat this Vitality team. Top Blokes are clearly capable of it. It's not that Vitality are far and away crushing them at every opportunity. We've seen Top Blokes put possession after possession together, but that immaculate defense, that positioning from Vitality has been a vice grip against Top Blokes' ability to score.
I mean, one thing that I think is just, it's the biggest issue with Top Blokes is the fact that when they get these opportunities to score, they can't even put it on target. Flame had such a clear chance to just hit it at the net with Vitality players scrambling and having issues trying to get to that ball. He was the only person in the air, and he sent it a full ball width to the left of the goal. You can't do that at any level, let alone here, let alone now, let alone versus this Vitality.
I mean, you say this Vitality, and Jilby, you were talking about their sublime positioning, but for me, it's about more than that. When Vitality defend, it's desperation, it's hunger, it's sheer will to win by any means necessary. It's KDOP trying to get to the grand finals of the EU Regional for the 8th time in a row, the 8th season in a row. It's unfathomable how he always does it.
It's actually insane, his accolades there. And then again, you know, I had so many doubts about Vitality coming into today, and I thought the Top Blokes, they were going to come in and, you know, they're going to put the smackdown on them in the first set. I really thought it. I believed it after we saw them play against Guild yesterday. But that championship effect, something about it just hits different for Vitality. They just play differently. They somehow find their peak form. Even when they're online, they have some semblance of that LAN energy going on at their facility. But it can never be replicated by a real LAN setting. But to find this form anyway, when you need to the most, I mean, that shows you the prowess of Vitality.
I like that we've given that one guy in the background of Vitality all of this credit of, yes, he is the LAN. My word, he is making KDOP awake.
He is what it's all about. That bloke from Vitality is it's spurring them on to victory.
Well, Fairy is setting up KDOP again, and these touches always right near a Vitality player. Speaking of their positioning again, taking more boost off the play. Top Blokes can't even get out of their own corner right now. That touch from Alpha off the ceiling, only for Fairy Peak to grab. It takes a Cassio 50 to be perfect, and Flame getting that follow-up to get Top Blokes out of the blue half.
I'm watching Alpha right now, and he just has so much trust in his teammates. That is how they're having all this pressure. He's never chasing. He's believing that KDOP will get the perfect touch. He's happy to rotate back to third man because he knows eventually the ball will fall to him, and when he does, he'll do something devastating, but he needs to do some defending here. KDOP helps him out. But Top Blokes, though, at the moment, just starting to get a bit of the ball.
The rest of Top Blokes pretty far back. Cassio's all by himself in the orange half. But that's good enough for Flame. Oh, another good grab by Alpha, and a perfect follow-up touch from KDOP forces Archie to respect the long clear potential. Now Archie tries to get underneath, but they haven't done the work necessary to earn a goal like that from Archie. They need more pressure on net because all of Vitality are ready for every Top Blokes push.
And the issue with Vitality from Top Blokes' perspective is they have too many players. There's 3 of them. Reduce it to 2 and then go for that ground pinch, and maybe you'll find an avenue through. But going for that with very little offense going for you, with nobody realistically bumping or even causing a nuisance, it's going to be impossible. Cassio, though, rotting a couple of shots on target. He's going to try and open it up as best he can, and Flame shooting directly at 2 defenders. Vitality's hungry defense just swallowing up those balls like nobody's business.
I mean, even if it hadn't have been straight at the goalkeeper, you just backed Vitality to have saved it somehow. And then there it is, the counter-attack, the perfect pass from Fairy Peak. And look at K-Dot, the confidence to be playing in front of the ball when his team have been defending, and he gets the easiest job in the world. That's his reward, that goal to take the lead.
No matter what Top Blokes do. They had the 3-point passing play that they completed by midfield, and now they're getting scored on again on the kickoff. Top Blokes are desperate to make anything work right now, but you lose a kickoff, Flame cuts underneath Alpha, and Cassio was expecting Flame to push that ball to the side. So that's why he's positioned so far wide. But Flame cutting underneath Alpha gives a free lane for Alpha to beat Cassio on the edge.
I mean, we said earlier on just how dominant Vitality have been over Top Blokes, and that really can't be overstated. The last time the Top Blokes beat Vitality was back in Grid in fall. That's like approaching a year ago that it was that Top Blokes could actually take them down. And both of these teams have gone through highs and they've gone through a lot of lows. And yet Vitality again come out the stronger side with 90 seconds. Top Blokes need something, anything, a ray of hope has to come through, probably in the form of a timeout and a cheeky Rams to give them the most incredible inspirational speech of all time.
There's been discussions all season about whether the experience of the old guard is worth the mechanics that they might not have. You see these wonder kids. You see Drews coming in for G2. You see Joris and apparently Jack going in for Dignitas and doing so well compared to Violent Panda. And you do start to think, is it just worth replacing each and every one of them? But I think what we're seeing from Vitality now is that no, it is not. This championship experience, having been there, having done that, having played at the very highest of pressure, it does certainly count for something, because maybe you guys would disagree, but this is up there with the best we've seen Vitality play all season. It is sublime Rocket League from there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And what you say, Cole, about that championship experience, you know, over in NA, all the talk is about Rogue and how mechanical they are as a team, and they didn't even make it to the semifinals. It was NRG and G2, two teams with players that have been around for so long. Flame will pick up a goal here. But Top Blokes on this next kickoff, it has to be perfection. I won't believe they can come back.
I mean, it's going to come down to Vitality ultimately making an error here. Will Top Blokes mix up this kickoff, though, with 22 seconds left? Do they fake the front man? It's hard because it's on the diagonal, so almost certainly not. That's not the fake kickoff spawn that you want whatsoever. With 15 seconds left, they need some kind of magic.
Cassio going to cut off the edge. Vitality. Alpha will be next in on the rotation, and he'll get the pinch off the wall. Archie, you got to do it with distance, in the air. He's going to go fast. K-Dop makes the necessary touch, but Cassio gets the catch. Over one, Flame, can he find the touch? And it touches the ground. Vitality, one away from sweeping Top Blokes out of the championships.
I mean, that's a scary situation for Vitality, right? Any other time, any other place, when Top Blokes are coming at you, they've clearly got boost, they've got a clean touch for Archie. Most teams would panic in that situation when you're defending a 1-goal lead, having been 2 up. Vitality, there was no panic there at all. They were in complete control of that situation, and Top Blokes now are trying to take control of their own situation. In my opinion, it's a game late, but now they're doing their tactical timeout.
It's inspiration time. Rams has to do a huge job here to try and wrestle them back into the series. We thought that it was going to be more NRG G2, but this is definitely looking more BDS Queso, because Vitality, man, oh man, the way that they have taken control of this second series it reminds me of old Vitality, where they would do this to every team in Europe. They've had slumps, they've had downsides, they have had so many issues previously. But this is the championship. K-Dop wants to win this one again, add it to the trophy cabinet. Fairy Peak, former world champion, wants to do so. And Alpha has got a spot, I'm sure, ready on his mantelpiece for the beautiful medal that he may well have a chance to earn going through to the grand finals with just one more game.
Stumpy, you were talking earlier about how, you know, Vitality's defense, the only way you're really going to get by them is if there's not 3 players on the field. Is that the answer for Top Blokes? You've got no more lives left. This is it. You are on match, set, series, whatever point. You're done. You're done after this game if you lose. So is it demos? Is it some sort of physicality? Or is there some other trick in the book that they just haven't tried to apply that they can try to push that fold against Vitality?
It's some amount of aggression on one of the players in the net. Even if you don't get the demo, scaring for the bump on your way round where you should be going in front of their goal line to just make them jump, make them awkward. Even if the shot doesn't come in, you've done so, and now suddenly you're a presence in their mind. Right now, the way Vitality defend is, as exactly Cole said, they send 2 players to the ball frequently, sometimes 3, and yet Top Blokes still haven't quite got to the point where they think, well, if we reduce their numbers, that opens up the net considerably more. The way that Top Blokes will find a hole is to carve it out themselves, because Vitality aren't going to hand them the tools.
Yeah, I mean, what I'd add to that as well is that Top Blokes can go for bumps. They can change their tactics, be slightly more aggressive, defensive, whatever. But to me, this is a period of time that just calls for one player to step up. Most likely Archie, but Flame and Cassio are more than capable of it as well. Top Blokes need a hero. They need a champion. They need someone to just have the confidence to completely change things. I'm not sure they have it in them. I would love for them to prove me wrong.
Time to activate the survival instinct for Top Blokes. Under 5 minutes left, and if they don't have more goals on the board than Vitality, that's it for their championship dreams. K-Dop has been a monster today. Fairy Peak has been a monster today. Vitality in championship form, strike first.
Finding that bottom corner again. A pass off from K-Dot to bounce from the corner. And to identify that Flame is coming from the right-hand side, Fairy Peak has one place to shoot, and he has shot there so many times before. Vitality, with the lead early on, is not what Top Blokes need to work their way back into this series.
You're completely right, Stumpy, that those are the moments that can wrestle a series away from you, those clean finishes. Top Blokes have had their chances, but the amount of misses they've made, sometimes it's not even getting it on target, combined with Vitality's defending, but that's better from them. They keep on going, and they get a reward.
That one finally worked out for them. Fairy Peak, the touch not really working out the way he wanted to, and Alpha tried to make up for it, but he ended up just passing it to Archie. He lets that one go, and then maybe K-Dop can get to that ball, or maybe Vitality can cover it up, get into position. We'll never know now. We know his Alpha's touch jetted out a little farther than he was hoping for.
Good flick there from Flame. Cassio's following up. Cassio shoots, and that's the 1-2 punch that Top Blokes needed.
I mean, all 3 players as well, still very much on the pitch, but 2 of them taken out with Fairy Peak, and not a great touch. But Cassio's speed to get above both Vitality players who are so much closer to the ball, that is something we've not seen from him so far, and that is where he's deadly, where he's acting as that Predator missile to try and attack the net. But Alpha going to the ceiling, back down, and bouncing it in. That's an equalizer.
As you were saying, Predator missile, Alpha just went pew, and then also his goal celebration.
No,
everything ties into itself. Beautiful. That's poetry right there, Stumpy.
I meant the poetry.
Good.
That's what William
Shakespeare
Shakespeare
mark on that more
always
often
said.
than you should. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know, most people have the caster curse, but Stumpy has the caster blessing. I don't know where he found it. But either way, you take it if you're Vitality, because Top Blokes come back with some quick offense. And Cole, you were mentioning about Top Blokes, probably Archie being the player that needs to step up, needing a hero. In my mind, though, I think it's Cassio. He hasn't played the solid performance that I expected out of him. And while some of his passes have been on point, he's also been the guy that's put Top Blokes in some tough spots, either with whiffs, missed touches, mechanically not getting it done. It's looking a little better to start this game. But I think if Cassio can square up and find that consistency, then maybe they can get through Vitality.
He has absolutely struggled. That's because Vitality have closed him down so quickly whenever the ball has been anywhere near him. This game, as you mentioned, though, Jorby, is a lot better. He's already got that beautiful goal where he had to readjust after, I think it was Fairy Peak, got another touch onto the backboard, and he got an assist before that, which ultimately is his job in this team. But there are no more opportunities here for mistakes from Cassio. He has to get the bullet passes like that one to Archie, who can flick past K-Dop. K-Dop somehow keeps it up, but here comes Flame, and it's wide again. Top Blokes miss another gilt-edged chance.
Oh, that was such an incredible dribble from Archie as well, working his way down the pitch entirely. Flame, with his final touch, can get the 3rd goal.
Oh, finally, Flame finds it. And, you know, that's the scary thing with me with Flame, is that his follow-up shots haven't been on target. He's hit the post how many times during this match against Vitality? It just that was so crucial for him to pick up. Cole, you said it 1,000 times. He needs those confidence goals in order to be successful.
I mean, he's kept on going, Flame. He has made a couple of mistakes. No one's going to be looking back at these last few games and the last series saying he's been absolutely perfect. What he hasn't ever done, though, is shied away. He's consistently wanted the ball. You can see in the way he's playing the game, still playing in front of the ball, still going for these shots, not letting misses affect him. And that has impressed me, even if at times his shooting hasn't.
I mean, the issue is that in the first series that was ultimately closer than this one, Flame was the best performing player on Top Blokes. Alpha was the best performing player on, Fairy Pete was the best performing player on Vitality. So it just comes down to what is Cassio and Archie doing? And now they're finally showing in this game what they are capable of. I think it's just taking it into their own hands, especially on the side of Archie. If he can shoot before handing it off to a teammate, that is going to be the optimal option.
Still got to stop Vitality in front. Alpha wanting to sneak that ball to Fairy Peak. They do kill the ball. It gave K-Dop time to snuff out the situation, but then he's actually going to stay right where he was. Off the corner. Fairy Peak also going to kick this one up. Alpha going to wait for that touch from Flame. Be able to close the edge. Alpha staying on control, and Archie takes the ball away. Vitality, look how close they are, trying to squeeze Top Blokes on defense. They finally get it cleared.
That's how much space Archie gets, though. Yeah, exactly. And that's because Archie generates so much space for his team. As soon as he has the ball, there were two Vitality players just diving at it, terrified of what he's capable of. It won't always work for Vitality, and now they've got some defending to do. There's a touch there on the goal line. It was Alpha. What a save that was.
How did he sneak that one back out when there was a Top Blokes player bearing down on him? I will never know.
Well, Archie throws it right back into the orange corner. Can he wrap this around for a teammate? Fairy Peak, and a touch perfect for Alpha. But again, the midfield, Top Blokes are there for every single reception. Even right there, Flame will kick it out to the corner. That boost spawns for Alpha 54 in the corner, though. And now Top Blokes need to clear quickly, otherwise the pressure may mount. And it might be too much at the end of regulation. Fairy Peak and K-Dot both in midfield. Cassio, high ball. Challenges Vitality to come towards. Bounces off the ramp. It's perfect for Archie, and Fairy Peak's a little far back. Maybe this one goes the way of Top Blokes, or maybe Alpha's got something different in mind. It bounces off the ramp, and Top Blokes survive.
That was vital. They needed that win. Otherwise, Vitality say hello to BDS in those grand finals. Fantastic showing up in the end from Archie and Cassio. In particular, I feel like they had a lot of the offense, but look at the scoreboard. Like, they did a really good job of making sure that whenever Flame did have the ball, he could be nice and offensive with it, and that he didn't have to worry too much of what was happening behind him. He put on a lot of touches, and he seemed a lot more confident in that match.
Oh, just this. I was just looking at the replays again, just kind of taking that last match in. It's Top Blokes. You know, I can kind of feel the tension up here in the caster booth for this team, but everything went their way. On defense a couple of times, they had to get solid clears. Cole, you mentioned Archie being the guy that's generating all that space for Cassio and Flame to breathe a little bit from that suffocating Vitality offense.
They can breathe from it, but I would still say that they have to win 3 games in a row, right? Sorry, yeah, 3 more games in a row right now, Top Blokes. And if that is to happen, they cannot afford any more missed chances. That, to me, that game, that was a bit of a freebie. Considering there was a goal given away and a goal they should have scored that was missed, it's not going to happen too much. But what a save that is from Archie. Alpha tries to follow it up. Archie manages to dunk it all the way back to the Vitality goal. How are we still at 0-0?
How did that not find its way in?
I don't know what words of power Rams gave Top Blokes during their tactical timeout, but there must be some sort of energy pulse in there.
Here we go though. K-Dop's turn for a flip reset. Not quite.
That was such a well-timed flip reset too, I believe from Alpha, who just managed to turn it around. K-Dop couldn't turn around quick enough, however, to sink that final pass in. But again, oh my God, just trying to find each other a Vitality as they know where they're going to be. And that is that back third of Top Blokes half.
Oh, what a shot. Archie couldn't quite find it. K-Dot picked up the save. Cassio dumped that for a teammate, but Flame playing it safe, knowing that's going to come hard. Archie bounces off the post. Flame picks up the save, and again, Top Blokes channeling the power from Rams. I'm calling it that right now. I don't know how that ball's staying out of the net.
It's a charmed life is the only possible explanation, but Top Blokes have to make the most of the gifts they had been given, but Vitality are going to keep trying to get more to unwrap. Archie's defending from the backboard now. It's much better backboard defense from them, but my goodness, the Top Blokes riding their luck.
And I'm trying to cut off the angle. That's a nice touch from Fairy Peak. K-Dop wanting to keep it away from Archie. He's done his job. Flame lost in midair, and Cassio will come right back in to scoop it up. But that was a dangerous opportunity for Vitality.
Alpha is already on 4 shots. His 2 teammates are on 1 each. So that's 6 in total for Vitality, and they've pretty much all been good. The dominance they are having in this game surely is unsustainable from Top Blokes. But on the counter, these linking touches from Archie are setting up Flame. It's teeing up Cassio as well. But this is where Vitality can harm them.
Tell you what, though, you say about the Vitality offense, the fact that Top Blokes have kept it out, and we have said that it is straight up miracle work that they've done so, is a testament to them. They're staying calm and composed, and the work they are doing is just that. It is working.
Absolutely. And Vitality, they know it too. They're struggling to get through the Top Blokes defense. Every single shot is blocked. That one, this time from Cassio. And Archie, can he create that space? K-Dop closes the gap. Can't get the dunk on Cassio. And Vitality hunt still for a goal. Alpha quickly off the ceiling. Fairy Peak kicks this one up. So many awkward balls. What a pass from Fairy! K-Dop shots easy! Vitality take the lead.
It just came from the ceiling in the end. It was Fairy Peak going for the solo play and near supersonic the entire time. That then meant that K-Dop, as the ball pinged to him, could send it to the bottom corner. With Vitality taking the lead, hold that and your grand finals bound.
Oh, here's Fairy Peak now. And I was going to say as well that K-Dop, that is his 6th goal of this series so far. He has just been so dominant for Vitality. It's a perfect performance from him. As we were saying, Jorby, when it matters, K-Dop steps up. It's true. It's not a cliche. I thought it was.
No. Yeah, no. It's like you'd say that's like, oh, that's just a cop-out. But like, look at him play.
I really thought it was.
It's actually crazy. And, you know, I feel like we've talked about it a couple times, but like even online, somehow these teams can find that next gear, even when they're not on LAN. They somehow turn it on and they hit championship form. NRG went marathon mode against a peaking G2 yesterday and survived again. We're seeing the same thing with Vitality here. Vitality are just oppressive on the pitch right now. K-Dot, low shot, and this time Archie can pick up the save.
It's going to come down to
dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to come down to Archie just trying to work his way back into this series with the rest of Top Blokes, as it just is Vitality's game. It's only 1-0 though. There is such a big chance for Top Blokes to score 1 and then go into an overtime if they want to play for that and continue from there. But you just have the feeling that Vitality are going to keep pushing and bombarding their backline.
Hard shot taken away by K-Dop. Vitality in the business of wasting as much time as possible. And Fairy Peak, he got chipped by Alpha on his way down. But Alpha gets a perfect touch to Fairy Peak. And Top Blokes know it. They're going to go for the reception. And Archie just missed the ball. No one from Vitality expected it. And so here's a free pass.
Right now, I love the fact that Top Blokes are playing, there's still a lot of space between their players, but it's a little bit too much. There's a lot of hang time with the ball every time they send a pass forward, which is giving Vitality time to get back. And that is time, as you mentioned, Jorby, that they do not have to waste. But it's better from Archie. Fairy Peak will come in and save it. Flame, does he have a pass off the backboard? He shoots
got it!
And he gets it in. Flame steps up.
Big goal from Flame. Needed his shooting to be on target. K-Dop swoops down, but he's too late. Got on the wrong side of the ball, mistimed his trajectory, and Flame punishes him. Top Blokes still have life on Wasteland.
Yeah, there was also a massive bump from Archie on the defender as well, which changed everything. Vitality going to come again. Oh, he's bundled it home! They've done it before, and they've done it again.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's just a simple 50. It's just a simple 50, man. Right off the kickoff. Top Blokes do all this work. They do all of this dirty work on the ground, trying to bump players off the ball, grabbing the boost. And how does it end? With a 50 like that from Alpha? It can't. Top Blokes, one more chance with time running out. Flame tried the 50. Archie got the catch, but his teammate's gone. Vitality to the grand finals.
You felt like it was coming for the entire last game on that. Top Blokes worked their way back into a goal. It was 20 seconds left. They had a chance to just fight for the overtime. But in the end, Vitality, one of Europe's finest teams, will be facing off against BDS in the grand final. And with that win, they've won themselves nearly $30,000 more. On top of everything, they're guaranteed minimum 80 grand.
Now, it's been a long time since Team Vitality have beaten Team BDS, but it's also, I would add, been a long time since Team Vitality played anywhere near that well. Even when Top Blokes pushed them back, put everything at them, Vitality defended. And when Top Blokes gave them an inch, Team Vitality took an absolute mile. I've got a very good feeling for this grand finals on Sunday. I think that Team Vitality are going to push BDS all the way.
Yeah, this one definitely has a different energy to it for Vitality. In previous regionals, previous majors, I don't think any of us really felt confident about Vitality playing against BDS. Good reason for it. The results do not speak in favor to Vitality. They just don't. I'm sorry. BDS have crushed them. But this Vitality, just to reiterate everything you guys have said, this championship level Vitality, when KDOP is playing as well as he is, you get it guaranteed from Fairy Peak, but you haven't from KDOP this season. He looks like that on Sunday. Vitality just might take the championship.
There's so much confidence just brewing in that Vitality team as well, where we haven't seen that before. You're completely right, Jorby, where KDOP looks like a brand new player. It looks like he hasn't necessarily felt like he was able to play the way that he wants to. But with Fairy Peak and with Alpha putting in those kinds of performances and raising him up, that is a true unit of a team. They made sure that every single time they were trying to connect with each other, they knew what was going on. There were no cross wires. There's occasional cross wire, actually, don't get me wrong. They weren't perfect, but that was by far and away the best we have seen Vitality play for a very long time. And the fact that our grand finals at the end of everything is going to come down to BDS versus Vitality, that's already giving me chills.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that match on Sunday. And I know all the viewers at home will be excited to see if Vitality can finally do it. But we're going to wrap up Europe and carry over to North America. To bring you that, we got Leaf and the guys back on the desk to take you through.
Yeah, it felt like it just had to be the story of these two teams heading to the grand finals here. I mean, Top Blokes, what a great run for them. But at the end of the day, it's Vitality. They're still really good. It's not all just BDS, guys. Vitality is also very good. So, Shogun, this I think went the way we expected in quite the fashion we expected.
Yeah, we already know that I've maybe been the biggest downer when it comes to the way Vitality have been over the past few months. They have not looked good to me at all, but we all knew when championships are on the line, KDOP is going to have a different glint in his eye, and we definitely got to see that. We saw the best of what KDOP is capable of this time around. And Top Blokes, yes, they are the third best team in the region, but they look like that. They looked like the third best team in the region against the second best team in the region. And for Vitality, they turn their sights onto BDS, their rivals, and the team that has, dominated them pretty much throughout the entire season, Johnny. But they'll look to finally turn it around at the most crucial moment.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. I think this is the best case scenario, really, for Vitality because, yes, BDS looked phenomenal yesterday against Queso, but I'm impressed by Vitality today as well. I think that they showed all the ingredients of being a real competitor in a matchup against BDS, especially in this set format where they can actually, have a chance even if they lose an entire first series, because in the past when they've gone down a couple of games or when BDS gets some momentum, it is so hard to stop. But I really think that with the longer format, with tactical timeouts, and with Vitality clearly being in very good form, destroying Top Blokes today, we should have, I think, the best final possible.
Yeah, they were looking pretty solid out there. To talk about how well they were playing, Fairy Peak is actually joining us on the line now. Congratulations on making it to the grand finals, Fairy.
Yo, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Sitting here watching some great Rocket League. Thank you for asking. I wanna talk to you about that. Johnny was just mentioning, adding tactical timeouts into this as well. It didn't look necessarily like you guys needed one out there, but during the tactical timeout, what do you guys talk about during that moment when you're still kind of dominating a series?
I mean, we just like say basic thing like keep it up and just like keep playing like we played like before. So like when they ask for a tactical timeout like 3-0 for us, we're just like chilling, waiting for them to join the match and hopefully beat them. But yeah, we don't say much. Like if we would have lost like 2 or 3 matches and we would have asked for a tactical timeout, we would have maybe tried to like say something like maybe play a bit more defense or something like that. But right now we didn't have to.
Fair enough.
Really want to, sort of talk to you because obviously we know how you won that one, but look behind you. That facility you guys are at is amazing. How has it been to get all the lads into one place and to play where you guys currently are? How's the vibes been this week?
I mean, it's pretty good because like we can see each other every day. We can like play ping pong or like we can just chill and then like go ranked and trash talk each other while being at like 1 meter. So Alpha can't trash talk me that much because he knows that if he trash talk me too much, he's gonna have to face me in real life. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, Alpha's got to be careful. But Ferry, I wanted to ask, since we are looking forward now to the grand final, you haven't had a good record against BDS this season, but this is a totally different format. You've had a good while off to come up with a game plan here. What is going to be different about the grand final compared to all the other times you've played BDS this season?
And this time we're ready. Like it's the final match of the season, so we're gonna put everything we have to beat them. We know they're really good and they're the favorite, so hopefully we'll beat them. Or at least we'll try our best to beat them. And yeah, I think this format is pretty good because like it favorizes like being consistent much more than like maybe winning 2 games because you pop off and then I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good format I think for like the best games.
Right, and I was also wondering, you had a lot of time to prepare for this matchup coming into it against Top Blokes, and then now you've got a lot of time to prepare for the championship. What does your preparation look like with the team, and how do you get ready for such a long set?
We usually scrim like 1 or 2 hours, but we play a lot of ranked behind. And this time we tried to do like some scrim with the same format as this format. So like we screamed the Solari like 1 time and maybe another team I don't remember, but like we try to do like 2 or 3 scrim more often. And I think it maybe played a little bit because like if you would have gotten into the last bracket, it would have been pretty harsh to like keep playing really good, and it would have been maybe like just a ping pong set with everyone doing the ball.
Basically. Now, one more question before we let you go here. Obviously there was a bit of time between the last time you guys got to play in the RLCS and some majors and that. There's a lot of time to try to figure out what needs to happen, what changes needs to happen. What was the process for you guys when you have so much time? You mentioned you were doing scrims with this format and that, but do you guys with outside of the play, did you guys change up anything that you can reveal when it came to play style or to looking at VODs and stuff? What was the whole process like for you guys? Because obviously that something had to change if you want to take down BDS.
We just like try to play it a little more because like sometimes in the season I feel like not all of us three, I mean, it's not really English, but try to play it. I think like sometimes it was me, sometimes it was K-Dub, sometimes it was Alpha, and like for this championship we all played a lot and we all keep playing a lot in ranked, and I think that's helped because like no one is left behind mechanically or I don't know, so we can all trust each other, and I think that's pretty good. There was like maybe 1 month before this match, so yeah, we just try to play every day at least like 4 or 5 hours of Rocket League, and I mean,
wow,
for the moment it paid off, so hopefully it will pay off in the final against BDS.
That is true. Fingers crossed that it sounds like you guys have been grinding and putting in the work though, so I'm expecting a really good series on Sunday there. All I gotta say though is congratulations on making it to the grand finals and good luck against BDS.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
Thank you.